amazing how you can be boxed into anchoring a show right before the show starts. But hey, I'm from Gombe, born again, filled with the Holy Spirit, equal to the task. Solomon Sambo Sabe is here. Jemima Shishe is here. Emmanuel. Is there Emmanuel in your name? Who else is here? I don't care, man. So let's start the show. Joyce Jakada of the Most High God is here. Let's put our hands together for Joyce.
Standing on a solid rock.
No, this one is standing on existing protocol. Not any solid rock.
It is well with my soul.
Last week we started by talking on Friday precisely about a topic that seemed to be eating up deep in our generation, because I wouldn't say country or state, because it's a generation issue, and it is a global issue. Hook up for sexual reasons precisely. And obviously a whole year will not be enough. How much more an hour? So last week we had to push the topic into spilling into this week, so that we can see if we can do justice to the topic and have a sense of conclusion whether or not we do. So believe me, I would have sworn, but just believe me, this is the last day we are talking about hookup, except we are going to be talking about topics related to hookup, but not hookup going forward. How is everybody doing today?
Fine.
Great. What a great day to be alive. We established a lot of facts last week about hookup, even though some of us are in disagreement with what other people. You may not always agree on what people are saying, but then hookup. We're looking at hookup. Where did we stop last week, and where should we pick it up today?
All right. Last week we actually conceptualized hookup being casual sexual encounter between people that are not in committed relationship like marriage, and we've seen that with the advancement of
Joyce is
technology,
bringing back her point
with the advancement of
of last
technology.
week. That should have expired.
No, that was for people that were not part of the show last week. It's important that they know or have this background. So we also established the fact that with the advancement in technology, there are online platforms that people join for hookup purposes, and we've seen how that someone from a different state can actually travel to meet another person that he or she does not even know, just so that they can have some casual sex. It can be kissing, it can be sexual intercourse, like whatever it is, but just momentary, like not there's no any form of commitment in such relationship like you find amongst the married people. And I think we touched a bit about some of the implication. Talked about a young lady from Jos, who the only daughter of her father, and like doing so well for herself. At that stage, she was running her master's program at the university. She had a boutique, a very big one in Nasarawa State. But somehow she got involved in some forms of relationship with someone she didn't even know on Facebook, and this guy invited her to Lagos. And when she went there, eventually they killed her. And that was the story, was almost everywhere. And this is just one out of so many. We spoke about a girl that just graduated from the university and was declared missing, because on the day she was graduating, she went to meet up or hook up with one of her boyfriends from Edo State that came to town, and they went clubbing. From clubbing, nobody had anything about her again. So it's like, these are some of the implications. It's not just the ladies that face that, men also have their share of experience as far as hookup is concerned. But I think there are more stories, especially as regards hookup and the implication. Recently, the story of a young woman married, and so she decided to go into a relationship with another married man, and she got pregnant. It was the pregnancy now that exposed her relationship. She was sharing with her friend in confusion. She doesn't know what to do. She's pregnant and not for her husband, and looks like the husband knows that Like there's no reason why you should be pregnant. I don't know whether it's based on health condition or they had some agreements with the husband, but she is pregnant from the casual relationship she went to have with another man who is married. I'm really wondering how the husband would take that, or how the society, or I don't know. Like, I'm thinking on her behalf.
Hey, what's wrong with that? There are men who have 2 wives, so let her be the only woman with 2 husbands. What's wrong with that?
Okay.
So
Say,
she will be shuffling.
She said,
Yes,
This has upset her theology. She said,
she'll be shuffling between one man's house to
the
the
people
other.
that have 2 wives, where do they stay?
No, I think both wives stay in the.
So
man's
both
house.
husbands should stay in the house.
Ooh.
Okay.
They can take turns.
But I think there are
Well,
some
if you are
cultures.
watching, that is
No,
that
I was going
is- I was going to send a discretion ahead. If you believe that is at your own peril, we just wanted you to laugh, but that's extremely
Yes, but
gross.
I want to say we have some culture that practice that global, not in Nigeria, but I've read something like that. There's this story that trended, one woman marrying 2 people from the same house. It's cultural. It's okay for them. Now it is people practice so many kind of things, just to try to tell you that you are just missing in this way. This is how it should be.
Like yesterday on the show.
Yes.
Was I here yesterday? We talked about information.
Yes.
What you have, yes. People are just waking up to certain realities in their heads that who designed it, that this is how it should be.
Yes.
Who is the person that sat one day and said we must live this way, we must live that way. If you look at the killings that are happening, the Fulani jihadists and all of these things, they are not happy how we live. They want to change it. Basically, that's it. If not,
true.
why? They just they are not comfortable with how they want to change the lifestyle that we have, from religious, traditional, every other. They just have something in their head that should be how people should be. Even Boko Haram, that's what they came with. So if you cannot get that in the state, you fight to create that system of. But we are in a
recruit
world
people.
where everybody is extremely civilized. Parents are having a hard time talking to their kids on how to live, and the children are saying, "Hey, my father is rich, but I prefer hookup." Yes, my father has the money, but I prefer to be a Yahoo boy. So it's just people are just waking up with the realities of certain things in their heads, and then they just want to see it executed before people. Maybe it can form a pattern for others to see and emulate, and that is what is happening. If a celebrity comes up to say, "This is how he's dressing, this is what he believes about life," before you know it, people are beginning to, and the guy has millions. If something happens, he can face the court. You don't have anything. If something happens, you go to jail. You see, there was a story in Nigeria about an artist who died. Everybody was shouting, "This is the person responsible. This is the person responsible." They found nothing on him. The guy is freely artisting now. He's an artist. He's going all over doing great things, and his followers dropped. It rose again. So you see, sir, a lot of things are not for us to sit down and decide, but it's for us as Christians to sit down and say, "Hey, there is a pattern. You are created for a reason." The Bible says you are beautifully and fearfully and wonderfully made. What is the purpose for that creation? You need to fulfill the reason why God created you on earth. So you don't believe what people are telling you, that this thing is trending. You have to have 5 to 10 of it. What is making people go into hookup? You have a rich father. He's not giving you money to fund your selfish purposes. So you go out of your way to make this money. Hook up. Look at that lady. If someone told her, they are going to kill you in Lagos, she would have been alive by today. Information. Do not be transformed. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed. Be renewed. Be brainwashed. If the word of God cannot brainwash you, nothing else can. Nothing else can. Transformed by the renewing of your mind. What will renew your mind?
Word of God.
Keep reading what God hates. That is a sin. What man hates is religion. Disregard it. But if God says, "I don't like this," that is it. I can't be living my life based on what your idea of God is. No. I should live my life based on what God wants me to do.
To do.
Joyce, you made a point while you were trying to emphasize the you are giving excerpts from the show last week. You talked about people doing everything they can just for sex. What is this sex idea? Why can somebody travel? They can tell you that there is business in Akwanga. You'll be like, Akwanga is far. You just go and just make 3-5 and come back. Even though transport is just 2,000 going and coming back, I'll just come back with 1.5. Akwanga is very far. I can't come and go and kill myself.
Yes.
But they tell you, this honorable member is doing bad deal in Okari. Why is Okari coming to my mind?
Because you had to
Okari,
cross
sir?
River.
Okari
Taraba.
is where? Taraba. Okay, let's look for somewhere
I
else.
think it's because of that ferry.
In
Maybe
Akure.
that's what you say.
You are going to Akure to celebrate. What are you doing? Let's go now. They are paying everybody's transport. I will go. Let me go and carry that by this thing and wear and all that. You don't even know what is in it for you. Is it food that you can't eat at home? What kind of drink will they give you that you cannot buy in your house and drink? So what is the essence of going there? You go there and come back and be like, what did I even achieve by going there? They're not coming back with it because it was not business promise. You travel that far, nobody finds you attractive at the end of the day. You come back the way you went. But honestly, so what does that sex mean? That somebody can travel from here to Lagos to have sex and come back? What? It's a spirit. What do you think? I beg me, but I'm just wondering, why would I travel to Lagos to have sex and come back?
No,
What is the means of the transportation? Let's even say you are going by donkey. You have to pay the donkey. Let's say even if it's 20,000 to take you and bring you back. That's the cheapest means of transportation. Is it worth it? Let's look at it. Let's talk about it.
But for me, I think anybody that will engage in that, I think for him, it worth it. Because that person that is going there is selling something. And you talk about business, you talk about market. As far as it's concerned, the market here in Jos is not booming.
But
And
but do they discuss price from just before they travel?
Yeah, that's where sometimes they will tell you is a bulk. How do they put it?
Bulk payment, block payment.
Is a block payment. Trying to tell you that it's attractive. Yes, it can be maybe for instance, let me just use Jos. Maybe in Jos it's 10,000, for instance. But if you are going to Lagos, maybe 500,000. It depends on who the person is hooking you to, because in some cases they pay your fare that you are even thinking that you need to worry about it. Like, how can I transport myself to Lagos? And the person is giving you return ticket. Upon that, you're hoping.
You seem to
That's-
know a lot about this business.
It's the explanation for me.
Yeah, you seem to know a lot about this business. Let's listen, please. Yeah, hear ye him.
Because there are people that their job is to hook people. They are the ones doing the interaction and the business.
So what
Yeah.
are you saying? Solo is hooking people
Did I
up.
say? I didn't say that.
So Solo is hooking. Give us from your experience.
middleman.
We are listening.
Thank God for my job. At least they're giving me liberty to know certain things beyond my boundary, you know. So this is what is happening. So you just feel somebody will just tell you, okay, this is the offer. To some, they discuss. Like, what is it for me? For some, they have grown to that level. They will tell you, what's it for me? If it's this, I'm in. If it's not, just forget it. Your return ticket, I can take care of it. Some, they would absolutely tell you that. I can take care of my ticket. You know? So, what is it that is in there? So you see, you talk about business, you talk about market. To some, it's just the business angle of it. They don't care. Because the world is trying to tell you, this is the way you live your life. And without money, you can't cruise the way you want. So you have to double your hustle in order to meet up your standard, which you created. So the world is trying to tell you, this is the pattern on how to live. That's why some people will tell you, you know, after money and power is women. Is it true? This is the question that I keep asking. Up to date, no answer. But I pray someone have the answer out there that can help us. Is it true? that after money, power, money, the next thing is women.
Where is God?
Because beautiful. Because you see the world. You talked about is the pattern of the world. The world is trying, is forcing every day to neutralize that original pattern of God, trying to tell you it's the other way around. That is why confidently now the LGBTQ plus now. You understand? Because they keep adding. It's an ideology, and they are systematically executing it. They have agreed, and they are systematically executing it, and they are winning.
They are one of the most powerful communities in the world.
So you see, how did he start? He started from the normal Ndodu in Angwa. But today, he can just, the local somebody that you see in area, you will see somebody in another city outside Nigeria talking on his behalf. What am I trying to say?
We don't know.
What I'm trying to say is that
tell us.
the issue of idea, God's idea, that the world, people are creating community to tell people that is not the way to go. So if you allow that to get into you, then that means you are missing the original plan of God concerning your life. All these things, I like when Joyce always remind us that these things are temporal. Yes, I'm not saying that you are the originator.
Deal with it.
The Bible told us, but she always bring it that we should know that this thing, don't be carried away. It's temporal.
Loyal fighter for justice.
It's temporal. So you see, in the issue of hookup, they use women, not all women.
They use men too.
Yeah.
In most cases, it's women. So
In most cases, because
loyal fighter for justice.
Because the men are the one giving the money. You understand?
I don't understand. There are women too that pay the men. You don't know the concept of sugar boys.
That's why I'm telling you, the community that we are creating. She now, the whole
English.
English.
Let me help.
Yes. So that's the point. You understand? That's the point. So
Joyce.
what I'm trying to say from this angle, that you see the reason why I'm saying this, most times women are the receiving end. That is why a man will be caught doing negative things, right? But he'll be excused by the society.
Based being excused, Sambo Slomo, there are a lot of men that have a lot of experiences as far as or rape. But because we don't talk about these things, these people feel that it's not okay for them to even open up. So it's not just women. I know women are also at the receiving end. There are a lot of men too that have been trapped in that. See, there are a lot of young men that their future, their destiny is has been put on the line because one woman is somewhere and she decided to buy their destiny just for them to be coming and then satisfying them sexually. So, when we talk about Engineer Tony asked a very important question. Why would somebody, sometimes you sit and you want to think, why would somebody live where he is and travel all the way? What if you die on your way? What if you reach there? Or you that is inviting the girl, what if she dies in your house? Like, how would you handle the situation? So sometimes you want to on the people's behalf. I saw a post recently that weekend they are planning to go. What if you have accident? What would you tell God? So
they will disregard some posts and still travel.
They will. So you're asking
some of them will pray, as I'm
yes,
praying,
now.
Lord, protect me.
Yes.
And God is a faithful God. His word is kept above his name. He said he honors his word above his name. So whenever you bring if you get God's attention when you read his word back to him than when you call his name.
It's true.
Because he said he honors his word above his name.
True. Think, why would somebody take that risk? But this is it. I think we live in a world or in a time where the concept of hard work or work generally is becoming extinct. It's common now for you to hear people say, who hard work pay? Like we have a lot of cliches or sentence or statement to disregard hard work. Like that you they suffer yourself. Like they have not seen anybody that hard work pay. pace, fast money, quick money. And so the concept of soft life has been introduced to us or to our generation, that nobody wants to even engage in anything like legit,
Farming.
anything legitimate to earn money. While there is a job opportunity, for example, in Abuja or in Nasarawa State, for you to go from wherever you are, you're seeing, I have to go and start applying, go and sitting for exam and all of that. Another person is chatting you, some politicians will be available this weekend for so party. They are looking for 20 girls. Each payment, some. That's why I said some, and they will tell you that okay, there are a lot of money. They're going to pay in block, like so in millions or in hundreds of thousands, and then you don't even know who the person is, but because it's them to go and be working 50,000 monthly or 60,000 monthly, and I can just go one night, just 30 minutes, or let's say 6 hours or 5 hours. I don't know if it's up to that, but they tell you that.
Who are you asking?
So they tell you that if I can just go.
You that lives in Akwanga, you should have known.
I don't understand. Akwanga people come for you. And get that 500k. I'll just go there, get it, start a business, and that is all. I don't need to go and work and be doing yes sir or yes ma for anybody. So the concept of soft life has also like made people become so lazy that nobody wants to do anything. Unhealthy competition is another factor. Okay, I can't. If I say I want to go and start working, how long will I see for me to buy iPhone or to buy hair when I can just go and sleep with this man and just get? Some even sleep with women too, woman to woman. They are lesbians. Or a man going to sleep with another man, and I can just go sleep after just a night. This man will buy car for me, this man will buy hair for me, this person will buy iPhone for me. So why not just go? It's not just one night, and then you just go from the one night and you're paid, and you're like, wow, I will need these too. You see yourself also reaching out to the person that hooked you up. They call them mama, or they call them lolos. They have names that they call all those people that hook them up. Like I watched a video of young ladies between 18, 19, how that they were advertising a platform for hookup, and the other girl was saying this car, it was just one night, and then the man bought her this car. That the other lady is there struggling, even talking about writing jam or going to school. She better forget about that thing and just come, let them hook her up with this one man, and then her life will change for good. That look at how unkept she's looking. So you can see the notion in the minds of people, or like, I want to make it, and now. Like I don't have the ability, or I can't be patient, I can't work hard. So laziness have made people also want to just go into hookup, and they don't care whether it's traveling how many hours, just to just go sleep, get the paid, and then come back. Nobody's thinking of
the roughness
of the road.
Really.
Jemima,
Laziness has
do
really
we-
contributed to that.
should we think that the demands that life is placing on people is the reason why they are looking for easy exits, or people are created to be hypersexual, that is why they go for hookups?
Well, I won't say the demands have made that, because demands have always been present.
But considering
They
the
are still
generation that we
present.
live in, and like what Joyce said, people don't want to work.
Mm,
They see you writing jam, going to school, taking classes as waste of time.
mm.
Why won't you try something that will give you quicker money? Like just now you get it and you live your life.
I think
Should we
it's
even
the-
base having a car and all of these things as arrival in life?
No, they are not. Having a car and owning a house, they are not arrivals. It doesn't mean anything. In fact, it can portray backwardness. I think it's, I think it's the pressure.
I have interest in this point. Yes. Please explain that. It's very
If
important.
you're thinking that any achievement, be it car, house, or whatever monetary achievement you think you have, means you have arrived, then in your mind you are way backward, because all of those things can just diminish within the
Perishable
twinkling
things, true.
of an eye, and you're back to point zero. So they do not portray any form of achievement in any form, but it starts from your mind. It starts from whatever it is you're thinking, whatever it is you're doing, and then coming to the physical. Then you're moving forward and you're making progress. But if you're just going to dwell on whatever you've gotten through illegal means, then you are the most backward person that has ever lived. And I think it's pressure that makes people to want to keep doing that. Yes, Joyce is I wanted to say you are doing that.
No,
Yes, Joyce
say
is doing
say
that,
it now.
and then
Everybody
she's
has
having,
given it to me this few days. Yesterday,
she's-
Prudence gave it to me.
So you
You
cannot
are the
use
only one, so
another
go ahead.
person's name
Go ahead.
beside
You
this
can
one.
say
okay,
it's-
Joy is doing that, and then she is having all that she needs, and I don't have anything, and I said Joy.
There's no.
Was it the J-O? I can't use another different name.
Bola is doing that. And she has all that she needs. And
Justice
I'm
for
here
Yorubas. No,
strugg-
change
No,
the name.
change the
Justice
name.
for Yorubas. Justice for Yorubas.
Bilkisu is doing
Justice for Northern
Justice for the North.
Please call it foreign name.
Jemima is doing that.
Call it foreign
and
name. No, we disagree. It's a Bible name. Call it foreign name.
Williams is doing and he's having all that he needs, and I'm here struggling. You know, the thought will always be, why should I struggle when I can easily just use that road that every other person is using? And the question you asked earlier on, why would someone want to travel to Lagos when everything he would get in Lagos he can easily just get it now? I think they are trying to hold a permanent bond. Okay, when they go to Lagos, they would have all of that, but they would have it for a long time. So they are trying to create connections for themselves. If they stay back wherever they are and they get the drinks, they get whatever it is, it ends and that is all. But when they go to Lagos, they want to make their own connections. Okay, while I'm having the party, I'm watching this other person, I'm trying to make my way through to get to those people. And at the end of the day, I will have a connection that will constantly bring me back to Lagos or even to a further place than Lagos. And I will make more than I would have made if I had remained back. So I think people keep going to parties instead of, interviews or things that would generally just make them better. They prefer to do this so that they would have a permanent
do people
connection.
know how consequential having multiple sexual partners can be?
It's actually detrimental
I
to
think
your
people
health.
Do
don't
people
think-
know?
People
They
don't
do,
think
but
of
they
that.
don't
No
mind.
matter the
I don't
awareness.
think they do.
They don't mind.
They don't know.
No, they don't.
Probably they don't know it in depthly.
You know one thing about conscience. Even a thief thinks he has conscience. It's just because what he's feeling at that point in time speaks louder than the conscience, than his conscience. Because my child is at home, out of school. There's nothing to eat. This woman is a widow, but she has what I want. They have conscience, but they'll be like, "Talk. I'm sorry, but I have to do this." We watch even in movies. They give you money to kill someone. You find out, this is the person. He's a nice person, but I have no choice. 80% spent, giving and spent. Remaining 20%. So I just, even if I go back, how will I pay back the 80%? So it's like people don't really understand the consequences. The Bible says that if you sleep with a prostitute, that you have shared the same soul with the person. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? Okay, what if the person is like a reincarnate of someone? What if the person is from a world that is unknown to you? What if the person received powers, maybe from the marine kingdom or anywhere, just so that whoever I have this with, whoever, and some people say I will pray before I do this, I will do this, I will do that. But sometimes it's not about the prayer. Do you even believe in the person that you pray to?
I think it was you that gave an example last week after
If it's
the
nice,
show.
it's me. If it's not
After
nice,
the
it's not
show
me.
about a young lady that was involved in sleeping, that she was sleeping around with men. But unknown to those men, there's an old woman somewhere with a pot
Yeah.
that whenever she sleeps with those men, the sperm that
Her mouth opens. You
The
think
old
that you are
woman.
making love to the woman, but you are to the girl, but you are making love in the mouth of
the
that
old woman. So there are some spiritual attachment to that.
So who do you know? Because it was, I think that is very important, a point to say. I know about an evangelist that was doing deliverance, and because this girl will always come back home with bruises and all of that. So they prayed for the girl, and the girl started confessing. She says that there is an old woman in a river, not very big river. There's a tree by the river with a pot. And anytime this girl sleeps with a man, you think you are penetrating the lady, but you are penetrating the mouth of that old woman
in the river.
Yes. So anytime there is a release from the man, it goes into the mouth of the old woman. If she likes the taste, if that's what she's looking for, she gives that girl no matter how much to keep the relationship. So you, yes, with the man. So you think that you are sleeping with the man, but you are sleeping in the mouth of that old woman. So anytime she tastes anything sour, bitter, or unpleasant, she beats this girl.
Why did she engage herself in that kind of?
That's the thing,
that
and the
person?
girl does not have a way of knowing whether you are sweet or sour.
Know that.
She received her own share
So
from the old woman.
anytime the girl gets somebody that the old woman likes, she sticks to the person no matter what. So imagine that you, by the area, you are just admiring that girl and you look for an opportunity to sleep with her, and suddenly they like your own in that river. You'll be a donor in that
I
river.
mean,
without
I'm even
knowing.
about to
Sir,
ask this
sir,
question, and it's
okay.
directed at Sambu
No,
Solomon.
wait, sorry. The area of
You think
You
Joyce
don't
will
want
forget?
it to be directed
No,
at you.
no.
Joyce will never forget.
no,
Even
he-
if it's today's life 2028, she will ask you this question. So ask your question so that
No,
Joyce.
I want you to add more light, because there's a part that if she don't like, there's a part that the lady collect. You didn't say that part. The bruises.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. She gets beaten.
The
You
old
understand?
woman. No.
Yes. No, the girl gets beaten by the old woman.
woman.
Yes. Sometimes with cuts. You just don't understand. The cuts are very deep. Like you can stick your finger inside like that. Yes. The girl's name was Tabitha. I will not forget.
All right,
Your question.
satisfied.
Yes.
Good. Earlier on when I was talking, I said some politicians, maybe the girls go because they politician.
I
Of
thought
course,
you forgot that.
in their head they feel, oh, it's going to be some forms of block money and all. Like we just talk about the spiritual angle to hook up, and when these men, like we've had stories of men, some politicians, some not even politicians. You talk earlier about power, money, and then women. Like, and I would like you to respond as well as Engineer Tony, because this has to do with men. Beyond women, men are involved in hookup. They are the ones, you said they are the sponsors. Why do they, in most cases, you hear because they pay? Is that they don't also think of STIs? Is it that they don't also think of the spiritual angle? Do they just feel, okay, I have the power, I have money, and let me just keep engaging? Every state you go to, there's a girl you're sleeping with. Every function you attend, there's a girl you're hooking up with. Like every place you go to work, there is somebody you're hooking up just for the night, and then you continue your life. Like, is that these people do not think of the spiritual implication? Is that they do not think of the STIs? Is it that they do not think of their family? Because at the end of the day, your wife is at the receiving end. Like, is it that they've lost their conscience? Or it has become just some part of life that you're living normal with your family, but once you have opportunity or when money presents itself, or like, why do they engage in such activity everywhere you go? You're sleeping with different ladies and like...
Teeth where one come out. Even if you drink water with them, it will come out.
Yes.
Please, I need
Yes.
explanation.
You see, no matter what you do with someone whose nature is stealing, no matter what you do, he will steal. Take him to his grandmother's house, he will steal there. Bring him to his uncle's house, he will steal. Take him to the prison where his mind is supposed to be corrected, he will steal from the prisoners. Wherever you take him to, he will steal. It's the same with a man that is engrossed. A man that is into women, there's nothing you can do. It's natural with him. It takes special intervention from God. Look at David. In the Bible, not in anywhere else. In the Bible. What didn't David do? That when he died, they threw a young girl at him, 14 years old, I think. When he didn't touch her, they said, "Behold, the king is dead." What extent of love for women was that? Look at the people that David sent to war, just so that he can have time. It's true. Look at a lot of people. What did we not hear later about Jesus? Having affairs with women and all of that. We heard it. So Joyce, it's not just the issue of hookup, but since hookup is our topic, some men don't even know that what they do is detrimental. It's like a rave of the moment for them.
In fact, the story was told of a man, how that, some men, they barely spend money on their family, like giving money for food, paying bills of their parents, because of how they are engrossed with hookup. Anywhere you want to sleep, like all their finances.
Do you know what, Joyce?
At the detriment of their family.
I'm not bothered about someone who does something wrong. As much as I'm bothered about they don't care that it is wrong. See, there is a clear-cut difference between living wrongly and not caring that you are living wrongly. Who is born perfect? Nobody.
True.
If you see a thief that is always, if you see a fornicator,
They should repent.
if you see a fornicator that is not bothered about fornicating, he doesn't have hope of leaving that sin, of stopping it. But if you see someone who is always into it and is talking with people, you say, this thing is disturbing me. He has hope. We also have hope that one day it will come to an end. If you see a gossip, right? There's nothing like gossiper. So if you see a gossip, the person does not care that what he's doing, tarnishing other people's image, is wrong. Then the person does not have hope. We also don't have hope that the person will stop. But you see, like I always say, if you are a liar and you want to stop lying, anytime you lie and you know it's a lie, go back to the people and tell them it was a lie. That's the only way you stop. Why did the Bible say, confess your sins one to another? It's a strong point there. If I'm always doing what is bad and I'm saying it, not because I'm bragging, but I'm saying it because, how do I stop this thing? You will stop. So you see, there are people, the way you are even saying it is not even as captured as what I'm thinking. Because I am a man. I've never been a woman in my life. So I see what men do. That sometimes things I'm struggling with in life, that I'm trusting God that they should come to an end. I see people putting more energy, investing time, money into certain things. I'll be like, So you see, wherever you stand and view something, you can't judge the person that is standing behind you viewing it the other way around. Why? Because he can't see what you are seeing. You also cannot see what he's seeing. For the simple reason that you are facing two different directions. Even though what you are seeing is the same, how you interpret it is different because of the positions that you took. So you see, this issue of people doing this, and when you see people speaking against certain things, they don't care about other things that are bad. This one is not appealing to them. Start talking about lies in the presence of those who lie. They will walk away. But start talking about fornication in the presence of liars. They will contribute. I hate that thing because your sin is different. Let's not pick one sin and say this one is a smaller sin and this one is a bigger sin. The sin of fornication is a sin against your flesh. But the Bible says all liars, they have a destination. I don't want to call it in church. They say they are going to hell. In fact, it says that the devil is their father. Because he's the father of all lies.
And his house is
So you see, Joyce, that is why I love today's life. Today's life is the full balance diet for any Christian that desires to learn. Because we don't know it all. But the little that we know, we give to people. And I know that a lot of people are picking what we are saying and they are making good use of it. So it's to Solo's turn to answer. Maybe he has a better answer.
Sam Muslima will respond, but I would just like you quickly to to just touch on how can men navigate through this, because I've seen it being detrimental to their family. I know a story of a man that was married, and because he was posted to a different location, he went for hookup. From hookup, he got like hooked up to the lady, and eventually he found himself living with this lady, and he forgot about his, like, he caught 7 children, and the wife, he cut away from them. This woman had to struggle, a family where is the man that shoulder all the responsibility, and because of the nature of his job, he told the wife, I just want you to take care of, like, they had an agreement, you take care of the children while I work. And eventually he got hooked up with this lady he caught from the family. Now this woman had to go hawking, engaging even the children in her business. Like, she started selling things on table, putting it on their head to go and sell, and then come back. That's how she sent all the children to school. That's how they fed. They were renting, like, they had to rent an apartment because he stopped paying where they were staying. And eventually, like, the children all grew up to even tertiary institution. Some of them had handworks and all. This man, his source of income, like, he got retired, and everything just went away. This woman one day woke up and picked her children and then left. The woman that he got hooked up with. Now he was living in the barracks. He became sick, and there was nobody, because the woman that he got hooked up with left him, because, like, there was nothing for her. And he was sick. It was some of his friends that said, in fact, when he retired, he was in a barracks, like, where the same town as his family, but, like, because he cut away from them, and they too decided to just let him be. So it was one of his friends that said, you have children that are grown up, you have been in this room alone, sick, you want to die like this, that how would he go back to his family? And that friend now initiated conversation with his family. The wife cried and all that, and she said she had forgiven. The children, some were like, no, they don't want to see him and all, but eventually they accepted him. After saying their mind and all, but they eventually accepted him, and the man came with just a Ghana must go and his clothes. Yes, he returned home. They took him to the hospital, and it was already getting old. They took him to the hospital and back home, but he kept struggling with the health issues, and he eventually died. Like, these are just some of the implications at the detriment of your life, your family, your life, yourself. How can they navigate this? Because they are sponsors to hook up, like Sambo Solomon
Joyce,
that I acknowledged earlier.
information is vital. When you run away from information, nothing meaningful will come out of your life. There is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof is destruction. Information. Information. Why are you running away from the information that will help you? A girl that I picked and trained, like, I poured myself to that girl, knowledge wise. He was pouring his relative. Knowledge wise, yes. Do not be conformed.
I'm not thinking of
transformed by
anything.
the-
I'm transformed.
I really helped this girl because she came to me through someone, and she said, this is her dream. Sir, my dream is in your hand. That was what she told me. Very young girl. So I pushed her to my staff, and they were helping her, taking her for events and all of that. So one of them came and said, sir, she's willing to learn. So I started with her. She became something in life. She became something in life. She started winning things, competitions, and all of that. One day her father was transferred from where they were to where he is, or wherever he is right now, I don't know. And he went and met a lady there. Suddenly his activity started shrinking at home. Calling family once in a while, from calling them once in a while to receiving calls from family members. You understand what I'm saying? So the communication was limited to him receiving their calls, to receiving their calls whenever he wished, to stop receiving their calls completely. So one day, 2 years later, the wife now, the mother of the girl, now called him with a number he didn't know. He picked.
Hmm.
Police officer picked.
Hmm.
And she said, like they woke Jesus from the boat. I said, Master, do you not care that we perish? The man, he told the man, she said, this is what I am going through. These children, I don't have anything doing. Right now, I've been selling anything that people are selling just so that I can take care of them. You don't want to come home. You don't want to pick our calls. You don't want to do anything. He ended the call. And then sometimes he will call them and say, this is what is happening to him. He doesn't know how to come out of it. By himself. And then they will call back. He will not pick. He met a lady, a Yoruba girl. He started living with her. She changed his mind into believing that he never had a family. So when the wife calls him and she says, this is who she is, who are you? When the daughter calls, this is so person calling, say, I don't have anybody like that. I don't have a child. Then he gave birth with the other woman. When they call, they say, it's your son. Then he'll call the name of the other one. And then his head was turned. I think this is over 10 years. They have not set eyes on him. Nothing. I have been the one sustaining that family. But you know what? When I give the mother money, she turns it and she makes business. And she called me one day. She was crying. And I said, what? The mother? She said, I want to appreciate you for what you are doing for me and my children. Do you know that I had a surgery? I didn't even call you. I said, why? She said, because of the money that you gave us for business. It took care of the surgery. I said, which money? To buy yam and sell? She said, yes, there is money in that business. It took care that she went to a government hospital. It took care of fibroid surgery. They removed the fibroid from her. She said it comfortably took care of it. She didn't beg a dime. Said that's why that she came while she was bleeding. She was praying for me. The husband is still nowhere to be found. Till today, as I'm talking to you, he's still alive. But they don't hear from him, but they know that he's alive. They don't hear from him, nothing. You see the story you gave. It's not a mirage. It exists.
Yes, it does.
Haven't you seen? I think the greatest thing for, like this morning I was talking to someone. I said, look, if you are looking for a position, you are a politician. Once they vote you, know this at the back of your mind that you have become a leader. You are no longer a politician.
Yes.
You are now a leader. Why? Because a politician is identified with one political party. But when you win, ideally, you should disregard the platform and work for the people, regardless. That is what is missing. And as a leader, if you don't have the gift of knowing what to say per time, you will lose it. And that is why even as men at home sometimes when we get angry, the best thing is to walk away from the scenario so you don't say things that you regret later. Let's leave women with saying things. It's their nature. Yes, they will always come back to say sorry. But as a man, walk away. Stay away from that so that when you come back, you see Joyce.
Some say, let me just go and do hook up since this woman is speaking anyhow to me or she's being disrespectful.
But you see, you that is going to do hook up, I that didn't do hook up, I won't have HIV on your behalf. Do you understand the point? No, when you go and do hook up.
I don't understand when you're the person.
Okay, imagine that I am your husband and I'm not having sex with you, I'm not giving you money, and you decided that you want to go and meet Solo and do something with Solo, and Solo gives you something. I will not collect it on your behalf.
But eventually,
Sometimes
since they are
give it
married,
back to
they
the
when they
house.
settle,
Did you hear what I said earlier? Before they settle, the symptoms will be out and I will know. I know
And-
a
and
pastor, Joyce. I know a pastor. His wife brought HIV to the house. They started seeing signs and all of that. He was sleeping with the wife, a pastor. In Buhari, in Abuja. He was sleeping with the wife, everything. One day, they now said, sir, your wife is weak. So he said no. So they went and got her tested, and they found out that she was positive.
Oh no.
He cried and cried and cried. We said, sir, go and check yourself so that you will just know what to do immediately. He went to 5 different hospitals. He was negative. Wow. Madam, God is not a fool. God is not a fool.
Sir, I know a woman that her husband
In
was
conclusion.
misbehaving. Yes, was misbehaving. But at the end of the day, he brought HIV. But she's negative.
Of course.
Yes.
So
The
what do you
husband
say
died
about
with that.
those that they
So-
bring it and it affects?
What can you say? What can you say? It's just so sad that it happens that way. But you see, every woman should remain prayerful. Instead of fighting your husband, pray for him. It is painful. It is disheartening
Yes.
that you are seeing somebody unwilling to change. But on your own, you can't change a human being. Even you have your own flaws. You see, so that is why we are saying that study the man before marrying him. You see, the man that will change later, women know. Women know. You just disregard some of these signs and enter the marriage.
Mushy feelings.
Thank you very much for doing this. I'm sorry, Solo. I know you have a point, but the time is fast spent on us. And before we hear thunder, brimstone, and fire in the studio, thank you so much, Hassan. Thank you so much, Martha. Thank you so much, Victor, Ila, everybody who made this possible. Thank you, Solo, Joyce, Jamima. It's been amazing doing this with you today. And on Monday, we'll bring you another fresh episode. We are hoping to have an auditor on Monday so that we can talk about work ethics. We can hear how people misbehave at work. Let's talk about certain things on Monday. See you on Monday. Stay out of trouble and be kind to one another. Have a great day.